Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome to a new first look at one of the new Burning Baltics DLC divisions. Today we're going to take a look at the 19 Tankovy Corps, the 19th Tank Corps, I'm assuming the translation is. And something I didn't mention until the end of the last video, if you want to get yourself a free copy of the Burning Baltics DLC, then I'm going to do a giveaway on my Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description. Join the Discord, there's a giveaways channel, and you click the reaction on the bot, and the giveaway will be completed or end on the 29th of April at 12 o'clock GMT, and yeah, you can get yourself a free copy of the DLC. So that's out the way. I'm going to try and speed up the videos a little bit. The last one was about half an hour. It's a little bit longer than I like. I'd like to keep them to about 20 minutes. But unfortunately, I have a habit of talking a lot, and well, you guys know that. So let's jump straight in. After I waffle for about 5 minutes. Yeah, the dog's not happy with that either. Okay, so the 19th Tank Corps from late June to mid-August 1944, the 19th Tank Corps fought from Vitebsk to Riga's outskirts, losing half of its tank strength along the way. When Operation Bagration unfolded, this formation was one of the few mobile units available to counter the attack. The battle group features less infantry and fewer T-34-85 tanks compared to a standard Soviet tank corps, but can deploy a select number of KV-85 and IS-2 heavy tanks in turn. A wider choice of artillery, including Katyusha launchers, 152mm guns, and even 203mm howitzers, as well as AA units, are available. Additional firepower is brought to bear by the Lend-Lease American B-25J-30, a modified close support plane armed with 7 forward-facing 50 cal machine guns. Can't wait to have a look at that. The 19th Tank Corps is an armoured battle group that feels most at ease in defensive situations. Wow, okay. Good description. What am I looking forward to? It sounds like it could be quite a good division. Apparently it features less infantry, so that could be a factor. But from the sounds of it, you get some KV-85s and IS-2s, which are pretty decent tanks. So yeah, this could be actually quite a good division. Let's jump in and have a look. In terms of slots, well, the infantry is a little bit limited, but they're cheap slots, so that's might not be too much of a problem. Anti-air, I think that's okay. Most people would only take 3 cards anyway. It'd be very surprising if someone took a 4th card in anti-air. Looks like you get a lot of artillery and options and a lot of support options from the looks of it. So yeah, this looks actually like quite a good point ratio, I guess. So into the recon tab, we got the WLDTs, we got the dozers. They can come in the Dushka WC-52. We got the motorized Razvedka. Nothing really to say about them. We got the standard Razvedka with the bazooka. So these guys are going to get some use, or quite a lot of use. I definitely think so. And we have a T-34-85 Razvedka with a cool looking camo. Yeah. I think this is a new camo. Sometimes I forget what the new camos and the old camos are. This looks awesome. Yeah, I really like this. Okay, so, but you only get, well, you get 1 card. I think 1 card is probably enough. And you can take them in A, B, or C, but you don't get a hell of a lot, I would say. Onto the infantry tab, and although it's limited, we do see a lot more choice than what the German limited infantry tab was all about. We do get M2A1 half tracks as well, which is good to pair up with your Tanko Disaniki. So we have the Sapori PPSH, the unit that was so good at the start of the game that now is nothing. No, it's it was just like, what did you do with this? Eugen had to change it. Anyway, let's get off that because I want to make the video shorter. The Avto Komroti, of course. You got your strokey units. Only in A and B phase, so some limitation there. But you do get 2 cards. Let's skip to the Tanko Desantniki. And you, of course, going to want to pair those up with the M2A1s. And you can only take them in A phase, so everyone's going to be doing that. We got the Avtomachiki. 2 cards, A, B, or C. Although C phase, you can only take them, you can't take them in half tracks. We got some Sapori units. You know, I think they are good units. I think most people would take them in B phase. And we got the Strokey DP version with the 2 DP-28 machine guns, whereas the standard Strokey only has 1 single DP-28 machine gun. You can only take these in A phase, so I think most people are going to be doing that. So actually having a look through, it is actually kind of limited, I would guess, I would say. I think you're limited in C phase, that's for sure. And you are limited on slots. Now this is what feels like a limited tab. To me. Yeah, this really does have some limitations. So 64 units in that configuration. I would suspect most people would bring in that C phase card of Avtomachiki. It's the only C phase card you get. Realistically. So I think most people would kind of set that lineup up. The Strokey and the Tankos are a decent A phase infantry. The double Strokey B phase gives you extra numbers, and then the C phase card of Avtomachiki gives you 78 units of infantry, but you've got no leaders. This is limited infantry, so this is what's going to hurt the division in the long run in terms of whether it's going to get played or not. And this is limited compared to the Germans, which I don't think was quite as limited. Let's move into the tank tab. We've got the T-34-85 Komroti. We got the T-34-85 standard variant, or 1943 variant, should I say. You can get these in all phases, and you do get 4 cards. So I thought they said you had a limited number of T-34-85s, but you don't really have a limited number of T-34-85s. We got some KV-85s. You can get 10 of those in B phase. We got the IS-2 Komroti, so you can get that in A or B phase. I think most... Oh, and you get 2 cards of IS-2s. Okay, so we have a full IS-2 division. Interesting. So IS-2s and T-34-85, so you get no real light tanks at all. Which means all of your tanks are... Like, if you lose tanks to P4s, you're losing money. You're losing points. This could... I don't know. Is this enough heavy tanks to see 10v10 play? Probably not overall. I think this could see more 10v10 play than probably 1v1 play at this point. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Okay, so into the support tab. We got the Ognemichiki. We got the Maxims. We got 52Ps. Studebaker Schnapp, which... I don't know whether I've looked at this skin closely before, but that looks different to what I remember. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I do like that. They probably did that a while ago and I've never picked it up. We got some AT-34 flame tanks. So these are, I guess, these are kind of T-34s really. So you do get some lighter tanks in the support tab. You might want to take those in A phase just to give you some cheaper tanks. We get the SU-152. So just to add to the heaviness of the IS-2s, we get some 152s. And again, oh, this is only the HE version, so no AP shells. But I mean, being hit by a 152mm shell does a hell of a lot of damage, whether it's a HE shell or not. We have the combats. The Bash 64, or would that be pronounced Bash? Baz? I'm murdering it. Let's face it. And we got the M2 combat. Okay, so a massive support tab for not that many units, really, when you look at it. Which is kind of interesting. I suppose you are going to take some Studebakers. Look at that. You get all the combat units and a kind of Studebaker, and you've still got a slot left over. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. The anti-tank tab. What have we got here? PTRS 41s. And then we also get the VZ-VOD PTRD with 3 PTRD rifles. I can't quite remember they had 3 PTRD rifles. I thought it used to be 2. But yeah, if you're interested in taking the PTRS 41, you probably want to take the VZ-VOD PTR instead. But the problem with them is they don't come in the bikes for the fast rush to the front 1v1 AT rifle tactics. So yeah, there's a trade-off there. You get more anti-tank rifles, but you don't get them to the front quick, which is part of the tactic of having anti-tank rifles. So unfortunate, really. We get the M42 guns, one of the most abundant guns we've got, but just a fantastic job of sniping units into the side of tanks, getting kills that, yeah, really pay itself off, and also sniping those transports. But we do see a lot lower range, and I promised I wouldn't go into the range changes, but yeah, we do see a lower range for them, so maybe things are going to change. We got the Su-76 MPT. I always like this vehicle. I think this is a very underrated tank destroyer. It always performs, well, not always, but it performs really well. And I think it's down to the APCR shells. That 135mm penetration, it can really do wonders. We have the ZIS-3 gun, the standard Russian AT gun. And we got some Su-85s just to add further onto the heavier tank range of things. So yeah, more heavy guns. Into the AA tab, we got the Dushkas, we've got some Zenot 37mm, and we've got some Zenot OBR 3985mm that can come in the Matador Schnab for the resupply. I don't think there's too much to say about this, really. I would probably go with that. I guess it's a bit more expensive if you go with the Snab. Yeah. I mean, 7 AA guns is more than enough for 1v1 action. Okay, artillery. We got the artillerists. We got the VZ-VOD UPR, which are the, of course, the commander. So you are going to want to use these for sure, because you're so limited on the infantry tab that getting some artillery commanders in is vital. We got the F-22 76.2 mils. The 82mm mortars, we've got the mortar bike, we've got the Katusha, which hopefully we see some more of. We've got the Su-76M 76.2mm. We got the 120mm mortars. Now onto the big guys. We got the ML120 heavy howitzer. Some big boy action. And we got the BR4, which you don't get in a lot of divisions, but is not, you're better off going for the ML1, the ML20, just because this is a vehicle. This is classed as a vehicle, so it gets counter-batteried, it gets destroyed via counter-battery much easier. But it is nice to see them in the division. Okay, onto the Air Force. We got the U-2 planes. And we got the U-2 cluster planes, which we could see some sneaky cluster plane tactics. Ooh, we get the Yak-1B. I feel like that's a new skin. And is that roundel really the Rush? That's not a normal Russian roundel. Is that just a... That looks like a French one to me, no? Are these part of the French volunteers? There were some French volunteers that fought in Russia, so perhaps you guys might have to fill me in on that. But anyway, you get the Yak-1B. You also get the Ace, which we'll come on to a little bit later in the Yak-3. We get the standard Yak-1B fighter bomber with the 100kg loadout. That's pretty good. Oh, we get the Mitchell bomber. So this is the Mitchell bomber converted with 7... I thought it had 7, but I'm only seeing 6. I'm sure they said it had 7. Oh, this thing could be cool because it's got 650 cals like on the turrets as well. It's got one here on the side, another here, that's 2. It's got 2 on the top turret, that's 4, and then I'm presuming there's 2 below as well. Where's the other? Unless it's those 2. Ah, there's 2, 4. This is interesting, boys. So there's the 4 nose, I'm assuming, that are on the nose. And there's the 2 nose that I'm assuming are there. So that's 6. Oh, and then that single one is 7. So for some reason, the numbers don't add up here. And then we've got 2 here. 2 here, that's 4. So where's the other 2? Or at least minimum 1. Ah! Here they are. They're right in the tail. Oh. Oh. The way that just appeared made me laugh so much. I didn't spot that for ages. Oh man, I feel sorry for that guy. I've never known that the Mitchells had this guy in the tail. Oh, zooming out is better, isn't it? Oh, that guy must be... I bet the life expectancy of a rear gunner in a Mitchell bomber probably not fantastic. Okay, so that's a rundown of all the 50 cals. But there is a mistake. This should be 3, I think, not 2. So slight mistake there. But anyway, we'll forgive. We will forgive. It also gets 8 bombs. So this is like a bomber with a strafing unit. And it's got some decent defensive armaments as well. I'm really going to enjoy watching this when it comes out. And I really hope it does come out onto the battlefield, because it looks fun as hell. And you get 2 cards of it. Awesome. Awesome stuff. I just hope it doesn't die like really quickly. Okay, moving on. You know what's getting the favourite unit. Unless the Ace is fantastic right now. Or you get more of them as well. You get 500 kilogram variants. Oh, wow. Oh, awesome. Okay, moving on. We get some Yak 3s, which I think we have seen before in a different division. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, 20 mils. Very good agility. 625 kilometers per hour. It's pretty damn good. And here we have the fighter ace, the Yak 3 Zakharov. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is some detail. Yeah, that is a nice skin. Overall, it's a nice skin. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite ace skins. I really like the detail of the painting there. I really love the fact that Eugen do these ace skins. They make such a difference. I mean, they don't make any gameplay difference, but they just make me feel good. Anyway, so more Yak 3s. Yeah, this is a really cool air tab. I really like the look of this air tab. Okay, let's just quickly move on to defense. You do get some defense. There we go. Yeah, you enjoyed the division too. Okay, so how do I feel like the division is going to do? Overall, I don't really see this getting too much action in 1v1. I think the infantry tab is a bit too limited. And the tank tab, you kind of lack those light tanks. Although you've got heavier tanks, lots of IS-2s, you do lack those light tanks. And I see this kind of a similar division as Viborg, really, where the strength is in those heavy tanks, and you've got a weird infantry kind of selection. Viborg sees some play, but it's generally among specialist players like Amber T in particular. So we might see this being played in 1v1. I really hope we do. But I think this is probably going to see more action in team games than in 10v10 games, to be honest. What's my favourite unit? Of course, we are going to have to pick the Mitchell bomber. Let's give it the full designation, the B-25J-30 Mitchell bomber with the rear gunner fully, in full rear view action. Yeah, it's got to be this plane. This is my favourite plane of the division. It's one of my, probably, I don't know why, for some reason, I've just fallen in love with this game. This plane. And yeah, I really like to see the heavier kind of strafing planes a bit more. I guess it's just because you don't see them too much. I think if they became OP, I'd be kind of fed up with them again. But you don't see them that much. Right, there we have it. Reminder to everyone. Yeah. Reminder to everyone that that there is a giveaway in my Discord, so jump into the description, jump into the Discord and get yourself a free copy of Burning Baltics DLC, and also look forward to future first look videos coming on the channel. DLC drops on 29th of April, I believe, and the giveaway also will conclude on the 29th of April. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time. I guess the dog is saying goodbye as well.